Good morning, myself Sanjeev Kumar. Today we are going to solve a simple numerical problem on DC generated EMF. So the problem is calculate the EMF generated in DC generator having 4 poles, 720 armature conductors and magnetic flux, a flux per pole 0.5 Webers at running at a speed of 600 rpm if it is for lap winding and also for wave winding. So the number of poles are given, total armature conductors are given, flux per pole is given and speed of the generator is also given. Just we have to calculate for lap winding what is the induced EMF and for wave winding what is the induced EMF. So let's go for the solution. First you write the given data. So what is the data is given? The given data is for a DC generator having number of poles P is equal to 4 and total number of armature conductors are denoted by Z, which is equal to 720, and flux per pole pi is equal to 0.5 Webers, flux measured in Webers. Next, speed of the generator N is given in terms of RPM, revolutions per minute, 600. Now we have to calculate the generated EMF. We know already what is the generated EMF formula. E is equal to pi into Z into N into P by 60 into A. So pi is given, Z is given, N is given and also P is given. So what about A? What is A? A is nothing but number of parallel paths. So number of parallel paths. Armature conductors are different, that means they are arranged in a different parallel paths for lap winding and wave winding. You can see here A is equal to 2 for wave winding. We are having only 2 parallel paths, whereas A is equal to P for lap winding. As the number of poles are 4, your parallel paths are also 4 for lap winding. But in wave winding, whatever may be the number of poles, the number of parallel paths always 2, so that there is a difference in induced EMF with respect to the number of parallel paths also. Now we will go for the solution of generated EMF. Now write this. For lap winding, A is equal to P, and what is the value of P? P is equal to 4. So A is equal to P, P is equal to 4. Now substitute pi value, Z value, N value, P value and also A value. Now substitute pi is equal to 0.5, Z equal to 720, P is equal to 600 and number of poles 4 and also parallel paths 4. So what you will get here? 4 get cancelled and this 60 and it is 10 times. So what you will get? 10 into 0.55, 5 into 720, you will get 500, 720 into 5, 360. So total 3600 volts EMF will be induced for the lap winding for this given data. Now similarly for wave winding, what is the difference? Number of parallel paths now reduced to 2. In previous case it is 4 equal to number of poles. But now for wave winding, number of parallel paths always equal to 2. Now substitute again pi value, Z value, N value, P value and A value. Now what you will get? 0.5 into 720 into 600 into 4 by 60 into 2. So you will get 60 again 10 times and again these 2 ones and 2. So 10 into 220, 20 into 0.5, 10 into 720, you will get 7200 volts EMF for wave winding. Now you can observe for lap winding you are getting only 3600 volts, but when your EMF will be higher for wave winding. So for wave winding we are used for high voltages, and lap winding we are used for the high currents. Now the generated EMF in lap winding is 3600 and the generated EMF in wave winding is 7200. So this is the solution for the given problem. Go to the one more problem on DC generator EMF. Next question is, a 4-pole DC generator runs at 750 rpm and generates EMF 400 volts. If the armature is wave wound and has 800 conductors, calculate the flux per pole. And also, if the speed increases to 1200 rpm, what is the new generated EMF? Here is asking for two questions. First, calculate the flux per pole, and second, calculate the new generated EMF. Why? Initially the generated EMF is given 400 volts at 750 rpm, but if speed increases to 1200 rpm, what is the new generated EMF? We have to calculate. So to calculate 200 rpm generated EMF, first we have to find out what is the flux per pole at 750 rpm, where the flux remains constant. So the 1200 rpm and 750 rpm flux remains same if it is a constant speed motor, remaining all parameters are constant. Now we will solve this problem. So go for the solution. Now write the given data. A DC generator with wave wound connection having number of poles P equal to 4 and speed of the generator is 750 rpm and EMF generated initially 400 volts at 750 rpm and number of parallel paths equal to 2. Why I am writing number of parallel paths equal to 2? Since it is a wave wound connection. If it is a lap, equal to number of poles. And the total number of armature conductors equal to 800. Then calculate flux per pole. This is the first question. And if speed increases to 1200 rpm, then what is the new generated EMF? Now to solve this, first we find out flux per pole. So how we find out flux per pole? We know already the generated EMF formula. At 750 rpm, the generated EMF is equal to pi z n p by 60A. Now you observe for 750 rpm, we are having the data for generated EMF, number of conductors, speed, poles, parallel paths, except flux. Now let us take out this flux into left hand side, which is an unknown parameter. Now what is the change in formula if you take out flux into left hand side? So E into 60 into A by Z and B. Now we can directly calculate flux by using this formula. Now substitute E value and A value, Z value, N value and P value. So what you will get? Substituting E, A, Z, N and P. So what is the E value? 400. And what is the A value? 2, since it is a wave winding. And number of conductors 800. And speed of the generator 750 rpm. And number of poles is 4. Now if you simplify this, so what you will get? So 400, this is 2 zeros, 4 1, 4 2. So 2 gets. Again 4 1, 4 15. So 15 1 and so 1 by 50. 1 by 50 is nothing but 0.02 Webers or 20 milliwebers. You can write in terms of milliwebers, it will be very easy. So what is the flux per pole? 20 milliwebers at 750 rpm. Now same flux per pole we are keeping the constant. Now we calculate what is the new generated EMF at 1200 rpm. Why? If your flux changes, speed also changes. But here I am keeping the flux constant, your speed increases, then what is the change in your generated EMF? So we can also go for the relation that we'll discuss later. Now if speed increases to 1200 rpm, keeping all the parameters are constant, since flux is 20 milliwebers and keeping the same value, now usually you know what is the generated EMF formula, pi z np by 60A. Now let us check out the parameters. We have calculated the flux. We are having Z, number of conductors, constant, n value is given, and now it is increased to 1200 rpm. And what is the p value? Number of poles 4, and number of parallel paths is equal to 2, since it is a wave winding. Now substitute pi z n p and a, what you will get is equal to 0.02 into 800 into 1200 into 4 by 60 into 2. So you observe here we are having a 0, 0, 2 and 60. So 60 get cancelled. So remaining terms 800 into 4 into 0.2. So zeros, and after decimal you are having 2 digits. So it get cancelled. 8 into 60, 16, and 16 into 4. So how much you are getting? 640. So this much amount of EMF will be induces in this particular. So you will get 10 here, 40 into 16, 640 volts at 1200 rpm you are getting. Now you can observe here at 750 rpm the EMF will be 400 volts. At 1200 rpm now EMF is 640 volts. That means if you increases the speed, generated EMF is also increases. If you increase the speed twice, your generated EMF is also increases twice. So the relation between your speed and generated EMF, you can observe this equation, E is directly proportional to speed, E is also directly proportional to flux. So as your flux changes and speed changes, they will immediately affect on the generated EMF. So this solution at 1200 rpm, the new generated EMF is 640 volts, and the flux per pole at 750 rpm is 20 milliwebers. Okay, we are going to discuss voltage and current equations of different types of DC generators. What is the relation among the currents like armature current, field current, load current, and field voltage and load voltage, as well as generated EMF. We already discussed that there are two types of generators. One is self-excited and another one is separately excited. So first we will discuss the separately excited DC generator. Now this is the basic diagram for DC generator which is separately excited. Now you can observe here one field winding is there, two terminals F and FF, and there is the armature A and AA. So F and FF field winding terminals, A and AA armature winding terminals, and VF is the field voltage supplied from a battery or supplied from external DC source, and this V is the load voltage across the load, and this E is the induced voltage, induced EMF. So what is meant by E? E is nothing but induced EMF, which is actually induced EMF in this particular armature. And over this armature we are having two brushes, two carbon brushes, and it is having current, armature current IA stands for armature current, and IL stands for load current, and IF stands for field current. So the current flowing through field, it is called as field winding, and the current leaving from your armature generated and supplied to the load, that is called as armature current, and the current flowing to your load is called as load current. Here armature current and load current are both are same, so IA is equal to IL, but IF is different. So what is the major difference between separately excited and self-excited generators? This field winding is excited with external DC source, unlike self-excited generators, the field winding itself excites. But here I am using an external DC source like battery or some external DC source VF. So that's why this is called as separately excited. If the field winding is separately excited, then it is called as a separately excited DC generator. Now what is the voltage relations in this particular DC generator? We have the generated EMF E is equal to V plus IA into RA plus BCD. Now what is V? V is the voltage across load. What is IA? Armature current. What is RA? Armature resistance. So your armature is having some resistance. So that is given by RA plus BCD. What is meant by BCD? BCD is nothing but voltage drop across brushes. We can call it as a brush contact drop. Why these brushes are placed on your commutator segments, there is a small pressure on your segments, there is some sparking or there is some wear and tear, so there is a voltage drop across these brushes. So that is also considered 1 volt to 2 volts we consider for the brush contact drop. Now overall, what is the induced EMF? Load voltage plus IARA drop across armature resistance plus brush contact drop. We can also write V is equal to load voltage available is equal to E minus IA into RA minus BCD. Now this is the load voltage available. Actually generated EMF E, but what is the voltage available at the load? Drop across armature, drop across brush contact. So if you deduct these two drops, you will get the actual voltage, that is load voltage across this. So this is the basic idea of separately excited DC generator. Okay, we are going to discuss shunt generator and voltage current relations for this shunt generator. So basically shunt generator is a self-excited DC generator. Last class we discussed about the separately excited DC generator. Now we will discuss self-excited generators. First one is shunt generator. So what is meant by shunt generator? So shunt is nothing but parallel. So what is parallel? If this field winding is connected parallel to armature, then it is called as the shunt generator, and the load is connected across the armature, and the EMF generated will deliver the armature current. So this armature current supplies the load current as well as field current. So this type of generator you can call it as the shunt generator. When the field winding is connected or shunted across armature, then the generator is called as the DC generator. We know that IA armature current delivering from the armature, ISH shunt field current or simply field current flowing through field winding, and IL is the load current flowing through the load. Next, RA is the armature resistance. Armature having some resistance is very less. RSH shunt field resistance. So shunt field having higher value of resistance in terms of hundreds, and V is the voltage across load, nothing but load voltage, and E is the generated EMF in this armature conductors. Now we will derive the relations between currents and what is the generated EMF formula. Now let us assume a node X at this point. So there are three currents are there, IA, ISH and IL. Now applying KCL at node X, what you observe, there is one entering current, two leaving currents are there. So if you apply the KCL, entering current equal to leaving current. So what is entering current? IA, and what is the leaving currents? IL and ISH. So what is the current relations? IA equal to IL plus ISH. So total current in armature is equal to sum of load current plus field current, shunt field current. Total current supplied by armature current only. but we don't know field current. So the field current is calculated by voltage, total load voltage divided by shunt field resistance. Why we are taking this formula? This shunt field winding is directly connected across load voltage as well as armature. So it is a parallel connection. So voltage across this load is same as your armature as well as field winding. So directly you can write field current is equal to load voltage by shunt field resistance. Now we calculated shunt field, we calculated armature, and we know the load current. So what is the generated EMF in this armature is equal to load voltage plus armature drop plus brush contact drop. So this EMF minus armature drop will give the load voltage. You can also write what is the V formula. V is equal to E minus IARA minus BCD. So load voltage obtained by deducting the resistance drop, armature resistance drop, is very less, and brush contact drop 1 volts to 2 volts. You can consider brush contact drop 1 volts to 2 volts depending upon the rating of the DC generator. So these are the relations among currents, and this is the generated EMF and load voltage relations for DC shunt generator. Now we will discuss the series generator. So series generator is also a self-excited DC generator, and it is called as series generator because this field winding is connected in series with the armature. In previous case that is connected in parallel, we can call it as a shunt generator. Now the field winding is connected in series with armature. It is called as the series generator, and load is connected across these two elements. So load voltage is available across load. This generated EMF generates a armature current, and this armature current entering into series field winding, and then the current is called as series field current, and the same current is entering into load current. And we know that IA is armature current, IAC is series field current, and IL is load current. And RA is armature resistance, RAC is the series field resistance. This is the resistance of series field, and V is the load voltage, and E is the generated EMF. Now just by observing you can see that IA is delivering from armature, and this current is entering into series field winding, and we can call it as a series current, but the magnitude is same. There is no resistance, there is no drop across here, and there is no parallel element. So same armature current is flowing to the field winding, you can call it as a series field current, and same current is entering into load terminals, so then it is called as a load current. Just by observing this, the current relations are given by armature current equal to series field current, and which is also equal to load current. In series generator, only a single current is flowing through this circuit. We can call it as IA equal to ISC equal to IL. Load current, armature current, and series field currents are same. Then what about generated EMF and load voltage relations? So you can observe here generated EMF delivering from here. There is a voltage drop across armature anyhow, and there is just some voltage drop across series resistance also, and brush contact drop, so that the load voltage is available. So we can written as total generated EMF is equal to V plus IA into RA plus RAC. So voltage drop across armature, voltage drop across series resistance, series shunt field resistance plus brush contact drop. And we can also written as V is equal to E minus IARA minus IARAC minus BCD. So what is BCD? Brush contact drop. Due to brush there is some voltage is drop there. Now load voltage is equal to generated EMF minus drop across armature resistance, drop across series field winding resistance, and also brush contact drop. Now this is the relation among currents and voltages and generated EMF in series generator.